I have two cards to show you. Why these two cards are tied together is because of the gold. And I'll show you why I did that and how I did that. But these are the two cards I'm going to show you. I did them for camp. So I took a 4x4 piece of our gold and I ran the dies through. Like, I'll show you on top of this, that'll be better. Like this. Because I wanted this gold ring to put around that card. And then when I got all done, I had this beautiful circle that needed to go through So Swirly embossing folder for this card. This one I didn't do because they had an option of which one they wanted to do, but it matches the DSP. Okay, so I'll show you how I made these cards. Okay, first we'll do I'm going to move this over here. We're going to do that one second. So this is the More Than Autumn. It's got so much going on, but it's just at the beginning of fall. So I wanted to do a little bit of pumpkin. I feel like this got dark. The sun's just starting to come up, so I'll turn this on, which of course creates a glare. But it's a little brighter. We just have a little more glare when I turn that on. Okay, so let me show you how I did this. First, I used a petal pink card base. And then this is like, I have these pocket folders, these 12 by 12 clear paper keepers, and I put in all of my scrap. So that's kind of how the front of the card started, was I had scrap. And then I got to decide how I wanted to use it. So I'm going to, oh my gosh, I run out of space. I get, like, I don't know if you're a crafter like I am, but the goal is to not end up with a 5x5 square that I seem to paper craft on. Okay, so here's my petal pink card base. I liked this plaid pattern for the full background, but then I had to decide I liked the splashes on there, and I liked this piece. And there's coffee beans. I don't drink coffee, but there's a skinnier swirl. And so I just kind of played with this to get it the way I wanted before I started. I also like this one because it kind of matches the swirl in this. So I went to my scrap pile, and that's how I kind of got started. Again, you may not have the same kind of scrap pile I have, but you might. You might have a lot. It's funny because my customers will joke, I am not buying any more designer series paper. Stop showing it to me. I'm like, okay, good luck with that. This is the Latte Love. It's an online exclusive. I'm going to do this one because I can. I'm going to take it right down there. I'm going to snip it off. I had to get up my best laid plans. I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have those, but my best laid plan was to come down here and work today. And I was going to have lots of time to do my video. I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to go a little bit thinner than that one. And then Dad called. My dad is 92. And he broke his partial. So instead of, I thought when I raised my kids, I didn't know I was still going to have to help out with my parents so much. Holy smokes. So I'm going to the dentist instead. Again, I'm thankful I can do it. I'm happy to help him out. I just have to be flexible with my plans. Okay, this is the ribbon that I like with this. Now I just have to, I like it down there. So this is one of those ribbons that I'm not a huge fan of the glue with it, you know, like because it seeps up through. And so I like to run the adhesive across and then stick it to it and then cut. All right. Look how cute we're looking already. So here's my swirl. And again, this came from the inside. I knew I wanted that outside part, and all of a sudden I had this beautiful inside, and then I had to create a card. I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. Look. Now, the easy part. I have this, which is You Had Me at Fall. Oops, I want to scoot this up a little bit. Because You Had Me at Fall goes right here. I'm going to take my Memento ink. And we'll see, right? I'm going to really challenge myself for not following the step-by-step instructions that I gave to my customers. Oh, perfect. If it's not perfect on theirs, I hear, help, help, come line this up. I can do that. So on my basic white, I stamped and die cut my cup and my topping. Oops, looks like the topping slid a little bit. That's okay. It's Monday morning. That can't be the worst thing that happens to me today, right? Sometimes when I take Dad on his errands, last week I took him to get a haircut. Sometimes I can get him to go to lunch, sometimes I can't. So I took a little bit of a light crumb cake and just kind of shadowed my cup. Oh, you know what? Do you want to see this a little closer? Sometimes I forget to look up to see where I am on the screen. I'm going to move these all the way out of the way. So I put a little light crumb cake to kind of shadow my pumpkin. I am going to add a little crumb cake in there just to, again, give that pumpkin some depth. So my customers complained that I have a bunch of flat-tipped blends. And I'm like, well, I don't do that. That's a you thing, right? Dark pumpkin pie. Then I went with copper clay. This is the dark copper clay. Are you a pumpkin spice person? And then this is the light copper clay. I like some things. I've got, we do snack at small group, and Wednesday is my turn. And I asked my husband if he was ready for pumpkin muffins with cream cheese filling. He said he was. So that will be the snack. I'm going to put this on with seal. Oh, we have a mess up on the back. That's why Stampin' Up! Gives us two sides to our to our cardstock, right? Then with my topping on top, I'm going to add a little bit of the Wink of Stella so that it sparkles. I did some with the shimmer paste. They were so cute. I'm also going to sparkle my pumpkin because I can. I'm going to put this on with a little mini dimensional right there. And then we need some embellishments. And so as I was cleaning up, there's one left on the whole sheet. Somebody left me one. These are one of my favorites. These are the swirls. Obviously I like them. Pecan Pie Clear Ribboned Adhesives. So I have 3 packages opened, which is kind of crazy, but I do. I just think they're beautiful. Stuck that back on the clear. All right. Card 1. All right, now let's scooch this all out of the way, and I'll do card 2 for you. All right. On this one, so this is Mossy Meadow, and what I did was, mine, I added the words later, and they were up a little high. Oh, look, my hands are wet. I went and washed my hands to get the ink off. And then, so I had them move it down. So what they did first was they took their Mossy Meadow, folded it in half, and ran this circle through. And of the 2 circles, we ran the smallest one. So the smallest one went through there so that this will go around the outside. Okay? I'm piling things to my left. All right, so I used the Encircled in Nature dies, the Encircled in Nature words. This is where I get the May This Year Be Incredible and Filled with Possibilities. And then I used the Yuletide Village. I like the little church. So the first thing I did, I had them do falling snow on the front. It's very subtle, but it was a big blank palette without it. So you're going to take your Versamark over your falling snow. Now, if you wanted to, you could emboss this. You could do it in white. I didn't want it to detract too much from the church, but I just wanted it to be very subtle. I also could have used the snowflake embossing folder and just emboss the front. I had lots of options. Okay, so I've got that. Now this is the basic beige. I'm going to kind of slide it in here so I can see where I want to put my church. And, you know, they all thought this was going to kill them, but nobody had any problems getting it all lined up. They all impressed themselves. Okay, so this lines up like this. So I'm going to open this up and put my church right here. I had them stamp the church first before they sealed it in, just in case they needed to adjust it a little bit, or adjust the, or turn it over in case they made a mistake. Here's the words. They stamp so pretty. I love all of our fonts. Okay. Move those over. Now I am going to adhere this to the inside. Well, the end of a seal, right? All right, let me put this on. You always need 2 at your desk, right? Because you never know. To color my church, I used a light lemon lolly and went over all of my windows so they had a little bit of a glow. I used a light gray granite to kind of do some of these parts on top of the church. Like, I had a hard time deciding whether this part was the snow and this part was the roof, or it was the opposite. I mean, it's hard to decide. This is a dark old olive for my wreath. Oh, and the tree. There was discussion of whether part of that was snow on the tree, and you should leave it white. I have a light cherry cobbler. There my bow. And then I have a light crumb cake. For my church. We have one of the churches that kind of look like this, not far from our house. I drove by it the other day and I thought, oh, that kind of looks like the stamp. Now there's no snow on it, but okay. There's a very subtle difference between the two colors. Very subtle. All right, now let's do the front. How do I look, friends? Oh, and then I took Wink of Stella and kind of went over the snow, the wreath, you know, the door, the tree, the ground, right? So if you take a silicone mat to do some of this gluing, it's going to make it a little bit easier on you. So I went around the edges of this, my pretty gold piece. And then I'm going to stick this, and it does line up. You just have to figure out if you care where it is or if you don't. Like I care just enough to try, but if it doesn't work, I'm okay. Like that's pretty good. Okay, so there's my pretty gold around there. And then one of those other dies in that bundle is some pretty trees. And I'm gonna just put a little bit of adhesive down here across the bottom of these trees. And stick them on down there. Oops, contraband. Come on, trees, be my friends. Green glue is not my favorite thing because I will have green glue fingers for the rest of the day. Some of you are outstanding with it. I am not. Come on, stick. Okay, there it goes. I talked to it. I got a cute container for it because I was being so unkind to it. I felt like it should be held at least in a beautiful container because I may have been, you know, again, unkind. Then I have these beautiful snowflakes. Look at these. These are adhesive back snowflake assortment. And I like them because they have lots of beautiful colors that I didn't take off the back. So I like the copper. I'm not a big, oh, come on. Well, all right. I'm going to get, this one and I are going to have a conversation later. I'll get a glue dot for it, but I don't want you to have to watch me do that. So that adhesive came off. Occasionally you get one that's a stinker, and that's when you go in and get a glue dot. So there's 3 different sizes to the snowflakes, and I would like a couple on the inside where you can kind of see them on the edge. I mean, there's white, gold, copper. I just like, I like these. All right, now I'm going to add some rhinestones. These scream to have a center to them. And remember, these 2 cards were created because I wanted the circle around my church. And then because there's an opening right here, I can put a rhinestone on that one. Can I fit one? I think I can. I mean, so that was 2 of my camp projects. One could be Christmas or could be New Year's. Anytime it's snowing. New Year's. May this year be incredible and filled with possibilities. And then there you go. All right, friends, thanks for joining me. Gosh, I hope you have a great day. Bye.